some of you might know her as Kudos, and a lot of you were sending me her video all the time, and you were telling me, get this girl, get this girl. Everybody wanted me to get this girl. And some of you, but you don't know her name. Okay, you don't know her name, but she's right here, and she's gonna be joining us. But I'm gonna ask Dave to just play just 2 minutes, but we're gonna do play little pieces of her work. So if we could play at least 2 minutes of her work, and then we're going to invite her to the studio. Go ahead, Dave.
So I come to address something about tomorrow because certain things I just can't get swallowed. Because some of we have become oh so shallow. And after this, some of wanna might even unfollow. You see, I've shown you my talent and I'm showing you my best. But today, I've got to get something off my chest because I'm upset. Upset at the way my country is going down. Because some of you ain't gonna be laughing for too long. Look around. Because politics in this place is just so hypocritical, and politicians backstabbing citizens is just so typical. Ain't nobody that like to skin the teeth more than me because I'm silly, but time and place because certain things need to be taken more seriously. I mean, I see bare things that I do not like nurses striking for money. You think that is right. Not when when I just find bare money for that Republic shite, a grand affair and huge stage with bare bright lights. Yeah, the celebration that we were prohibited to attend only by invitation or if you had a political friend excluded out the decision with no referendum, but all of it taxpayers' money when I get in and spend. When I find bare money to pay to clean up the ash and the men rake it in one pile without any garbage bags, that's how I pass and see about 10 men raking in one spot. What a waste. But let me talk about waste because I almost forgot. The sewage problem that y'all think this administration fix, where all the dudes leading in the swamp know it full of bear shit and piss. Y'all say y'all turning the whole country green, planting trees, no plastic green spaces, but mashing up Graham Hall Sanctuary. No, don't let me start when for your station when they get and move from town. To replace it with a green space when they get and lick it down. Hearse before the cure, that was never necessary.
All right, let's take a pause there.
They get and put them in wildy.
Welcome to GAYNELDER Grazette. Welcome, ma'am.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Oh, wow. Listen, we are just so thrilled to have you here on the Marcia Week show. And you know, all of the viewers, quite a few of them were just sending your work to me all of last week and saying, Mrs. Weeks, you've got to get her on the show. So we are very thrilled, and we want to give you a big welcome to the Marcia Week show tonight.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Now, you know, we're watching your piece there, and so very well done. I mean, talented. People are saying they love that video. They don't know your name, but they always enjoyed your work. Well, she's Gaynelda Grazette, and her name is Kudos. That's her stage name, okay? And somebody say good night from Guyana. I mean, she is really talented and a full Barbadian woman of the soil. And we are so proud of you. And tonight we're talking about consciousness, tying it all together, consciousness and art, where they intersect. And so I want to understand, tell us a little bit about Gaynelder and your process. You know, tell us first, before you go to the process, just give me a little bit about yourself. Who is Gaynelder?
Well, GRAZETTE is a fashion designer. What you see there, well, I'm an artist because I have all kind of talents. I dance, I do comedy, I write poetry, I do wearable art. I make stuff out of unconventional stuff. So I did a banana leaf dress, which a lot of people know for people and etc. But most of all, GRAZETTE is a person who's extremely passionate, patriotic, involved in the views of the country and stuff that's going on. I would say a free spirit. That is a free spirit. Whatever I am inspired by, And most of all, I am who God says I am. So whoever God says I am that person.
Wow, awesome. Well, we are just inspired, really inspired, Gaynelda, by your work. And for me, I'm an artist as well, and I try to focus a lot on what's happening in society and bringing messages, positive messages,
Right.
and being relevant. And so I want to talk to you about that. Why you're an artist, you're a fashion designer, you're a poet, you're a writer, you all these different things, but why is it so important for Ganelda as one of her dresses, guys? Why is it
Yeah,
that it's
a lot
important?
of disposable masks. That's mask from the COVID mask that we had on. That's mask at the bottom of the dress.
So you use masks to make this dress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! So you then dyed the mask to black.
No, there was black mask. There was black mask, and I sprayed them and put glitter on them, and obviously incorporated other fabrics and stuff. So that's mask also by the breast area. So I do basically do wearable art.
Wow, this woman is no, you. That is wow. That is amazing, amazing work, and it's the same kind of thing that you do with your poetry because you're basically using what is around you. You're
Right.
using the material around you. So the material during COVID, well, you had masks, so you use the masks,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then we saw the different, all the different social ills, and you use that in your poetry to bring a message out. Why is that important to use to marry the art with this with society and what's going on? Why is that important for Gaynelda?
Because art is not only about the way it looks. I think that people get distracted by art and see it only as an art form, but art really is there to spark discussion. It's about how the person that is seeing it feels, the person that's hearing it feels. What does it pull out of you when you hear this? Does it trigger you? Does it make you think about what I'm saying? So for me, it is important because art basically, as you say, keeps things relevant. It also manages the passion and what is going on in society, at the present moment, but you're doing it in your own way, as in basically bringing it out in from you. But it's very important also, not only the artist but the person who is receiving.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what
Yeah,
is
I
all.
love that. I love that's very, very conscious. And that's what we're talking about, that consciousness that is in your art. That nobody's paying you $250,000 for it, but it's I mean it is doing.
Don't let us start.
We probably should, but we'll talk about that a little later. But let's deal with this here because with all the different what's happening around you, and you're capturing the material around you and creating this piece of art that someone is saying that they have it. They're in the UK and they're watching it. So you see it on
Right.
screen. They're watching it, Ganelda, in the UK. Because you dare to do that. Now, Ganeldo, you spoke on that little piece that we did, and we're going to show various sections of that particular work. You talked about what was happening during COVID when we became a republic.
Right.
And I want to know what caused you to write on that particular aspect of it, the ceremony.
Uh-huh.
Is it that as a Barbadian you wanted to be there? What really drove you to write on that?
I think in this country we do a lot of surface talking. So
Mm.
it's all right to talk about the leaves, but then you have to talk about the root of the tree, right? And there's a lot of things happening, moving parts when it comes to things that will affect us that the government does, but then we never have an input. There's never
Mm.
space for the citizens to say anything because let me be real, the Barbadians naturally are not people that like to speak up. So when I saw all this discussion happening and we was talking about change it to a republic. But most people were lost at what that even means. What does that entail? You know, like they came and said they were educated people and explain, but then you just had a ceremony and you switch over.
Mhm.
But what does it? What about you know, you have to obviously go and revamp all the laws and all these different things. So what about that part? It's not just about a celebration and saying, "Oh, we are free," and are we really free? You know, like, is it? Yeah, it's always this surface thing where we paint. We just put. It's like if you have a oil something, oh, you just paint something over it, but underneath it's still rusty. It's
Yes.
still
Okay, I
rusty.
got you.
Yeah, so I feel like that is what propelled me to get her and speak out because I've always been that girl. I've always been a girl where, you know, the teacher gonna post in the class because because I dare to say something, right?
Actually,
So
Pedro Gemeti say, look at Pedro Gemeti says, you get punished from in school for speaking out in my time, and
now
you
I've
were just
always
saying
been
that.
that girl. I've always been that girl. My the children in my class will tell you me I was you know one that they would say combative because if you tell me something, I'm not just gonna accept it. I'm one of those white people. Why? You know, I don't agree. And that always, but then eventually you realize that is a power. You
Hmm.
come to realize that is a power. So I said, you know what? If we are going to have elections and all this stuff, I need to get up and, you know, basically say what's on my mind.
Yes, and you mentioned quite a number of other things. You mentioned about the sewage, about the nurses. So you, as a young person, you are very much intact, or
Aware,
what you were in sync with what's happening in the country. Do you
right?
find that the young people were on that same page with you?
I think that Barbadians on the whole aren't very aware. Even just now you were speaking to Ryan Buffett about sports and stuff, and we like to say, you know, the government, but look at us as a people in a whole. Like when you have things happening in country, if it's gossip and stuff, it will get all the legs, you know,
Yes.
it get put strong, it get whatever. But then when it comes to knowing who our people are that actually are, as this person saying, that is hope, people that are actually doing things to help push forward the country, we never clap for them. So it's more
Hmm.
about us as a people. You know, spoke about same Marshall Montano get 250,000, but at the same Soca 5.0, because I had I dressed Alison Hines in night of that show, so it was there, but I went back as a designer because obviously you do your research and I watched it on TV. And I was very angry to see a big able Trini flag in the middle and no Bajan flag. So like even in the making up of it, when you were looking for
You mean in the
soccer,
decor?
no, yeah, Soccer 5. You know, it was a show that was broadcast for people to watch. So when I
Hmm.
went back and watched it on YouTube, it did not give This Is Barbados, even though the show was amazing. You know, it was a good show, but I felt like when it comes to patriotism, that we are not. We need to step up more,
And
and
you are okay. You spoke about patriotism. You said you're passionate and you're patriotic. Where did you get that instilled in you, of being so patriotic?
um. I was say from the time I was small, my parents always had me in the arts. So I always say that I was blessed to be able to express myself on radio. So it was in everything from brownies to swimming to builders club to dancing. You name it. I was even on time to sing. I can't even sing, right? So so I was in so I really, you know, had that in me to put myself on stage from very early. The NIFCA, you know, and I think that that is a part wanting to go there and show people this is what we have as Bajans, you know, and that's what
Ah,
carries with me still to this day. Where it's like, regardless of what I'm doing, I'm pushing myself to go international because you know I want to go there and represent my country.
wow! Just as though this young lady, we had an athlete tonight, who won a bronze medal at the World
And nobody
Championship.
was cheering, right? But when they got the
Nobody
thing
is
going on,
China
every
Niles.
every every group chat that's got all these killings and this and that, we don't put the same amount of energy into spreading the word about our people. So really,
Wow.
actually, we need to. That's what I talk about surface level. We always talk about things on the level, but then when you dig down further, we have to be able to take accountability and look at ourselves. And really, actually, I don't see us as patriotic as we should be.
Mm. And why do you think that is? You said you from a child you had that instilled. What can we do as a people? What can we how can we instill that in our children? That patriotism in our children.
First, we need to reinvest in us as a people. Same to talk about Marshall Gang 250,000. I was so angry, crop over there jumping. I thought our music was so good this year, and still they forced training music down our throat. I jumped crop over there and I heard old training music like Palance and thing. You got old Belgian music like Ruffle and thing. What if you want to play old music, you don't play old Belgian music? So it comes back to the mindset. And if this is what we are putting out, how do we expect the youth to know what is being a Belgian if the adults, because children are not what you tell them, they do what they see. So if we are not as patriotic and then we look at youth and say the youth this and youth that, who raised them? They didn't raise themselves. So we are seeing basically a result of what we invested. It's basically like you reap what you sow. And that's why you don't cry, don't you? Because for me, it's like we need to look at us. We need to
Mm.
look at us as a people and see what it is we are passing on to them. So how are they going to be patriotic when the same singers that we have, we don't push up our artists and stuff? So let me say a young person has talent. They don't have any drive or any calling to want to do it because it looks like, would they make it away with that? You know what I
Mm.
mean? So
Yes.
we have to put our people out there so that the other people will be like the younger talent. Same thing with the runners.
Yes.
If you have a boy on the block that he's fast and he can run, why would he want to get it and push himself in sports when we don't have a national? You know how serious a country has to be to not have a national stadium? And you have botanical gardens that built right facing it. That was a lot of money. So it's like always this thing where it's like the things are right in front of your face. You push down the fire station, but people been complaining about the bus terminal forever. It had rats, it had bed bugs, and it's directly opposite. So why the money that went there instead?
Mm.
So
Wow, guys, we
always this.
really need to be listening to our young people. Let me just pause right here. Ganelda, my gosh, I'm just totally impressed with just your because they tease me and say I'm Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica, but I'm pushing Barbados. They say, oh, that Jesus. No, but I'm just
I love
patriotic.
Jamaica. I take that Jamaica. I love Jamaicans for the fact that they always say this is us. This is us. And I say that they just need to basically do the same. This is us.
Well,
Give the world
I'm
us.
very. This is my adopted country, and this is what I'm pushing, guys. I needed to share this live.
I love it.
If we were on here and we were talking about last weekend, you all would be sharing up this live. So we need you to share this live right now. This is a future here, right on here tonight. And I mean, do you hear what she's saying? Do you hear what this woman is saying on here tonight? We talk about our young people and we talk about the violence and we talk about, how they dress and they speak and how they carry themselves. Well, here she is tonight and she's teaching us, so I needed to pause. Everybody pause. If you have not shared yet, pause and share because you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this tonight. You I listen to you and you're talking about being patriotic and being willing to speak out. But there is an issue that I notice here with a lot of my Barbadian people, is that fear. I
It
saw
is.
I saw a video of a young man. I don't know if you saw it, but he was saying a lot of things like you're saying and making comments a lot of what is happening in society. And Gaynelder, he literally had a thing over his face, looking like he was from the Taliban, right? Just his eyes showing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he did that because he did not want to be dragged on social media. He was scared that people might think he's being political and then he might, they might just do stuff to him. And he was scared. So why? But you are coming out with these hard hitting spoken word pieces. Aren't you afraid?
No. I think that God called me, basically. Because
Hmm.
there's no way that God is going to give somebody bravery and wisdom and all these things and then they'll call you to do it. I always say people don't understand the fight because being brave is not something no one chooses to do. Rosa Parks didn't get her and was like, tonight again, I tell the people again, not that bus. In the time was civil rights movement, but she was chosen, and no, we can say no anywhere on any public transportation. So it's like there's always people who are called to do resistance, and as long as you know who you are, you just have to do what you have to do. It's simple as that. And if God give me the ability to do it, then I'm going to do it.
Wow, wow. Oh gosh, I'm getting inspired. Dave, can you play a little bit more of that piece from Gaynelder Grazette, Kudos? Can you play another piece, please? I mean, we're getting inspired, aren't we? Oh wow.
Lord, if a conversation happen again, this time around at least 15 were dead. And just after the big boom, they had a big fire in Nelson Street, and the neighbors tried so hard, the house was still burned down to the feet. Then you could call a big conference and make a big scene, talk about one violence, and got the other Caribbean countries laughing at me. But to my shock and horror, when I look at my phone screen, you could be continue doing this. So what the hell does this mean? Or let's say what it seems. You see, we as Bajans, we are so quick to forget. So the politicians, let's get there with Tiffany and neglect. For the biggest one that I cannot yet decipher is how they say turn around and use St. Clair as an advisor. Not St. Clair when a bash and so he going jail, and that he takes so much money that he can't even get bail. The day a politician get locked up out here, or you get stripped naked and run out in the broad light today. Call Gabby say, that bitch is mine, I done bad anytime. Despite what they say, I done bad anyway. But you sure? You sure that bitch is yours? Cause the way it is looking just now, we gonna ask permission to go down on that sure. Cause they're selling everything, left, right, and center, and all the benefits going to the foreign investors. Man, I know we passive, but we can't be this blind. Cause Bajans really is one of a kind. Who are here to complain and on social media to speak the mind, but when elections come round, they'll hold out the hand for a dime. I mean, no politician ain't got to do nothing for me personally, as long as I see them helping the community. Because when you get and sell out and give a nuisance a vote, you're going to live in the same country with the cost of living cut in your throat. Riots in the land! Riots in the land! Riots! Riots in this island! Because sometimes I just want to move like butter and burn it and mash up things. But if it's a Walmart revolt, I make a make sense. You see, we were handed independence, so we think we above it. But if you don't know your history, you are bound to repeat it. We need to start laughing at new candidates. And nothing wrong with voting for independent. Listen to both sides and know what's happening. And don't tell me no shit about I didn't want to vote because I work in the government. But let me tell you something, called this ain't just start. A lot of these politicians ain't got no good heart. Them in it for the money and to grease them own pockets while launching with your beer debt, but you ain't to talk about these topics. I feel that it's be competing to see who can top it, to steal the most money, but guess what? We can stop it.
Oh my word. Oh, goosebumps. Goosebumps. This is art, guys. This is art that they would not pay her $250,000 for, because she's not telling young people to walk up and gyrate and to do whatever. This is about consciousness. She's speaking to our minds. She is look at the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat. I don't know. Look at this chat. These are people from not just Barbados. Look at this chat. Look how Dave put up some of this thing that is here. Let's celebrate this girl here tonight, man. Let's celebrate. Oh my gosh. A young person, and she has talent, and she could use the talent to do this kind of work of educating, agitating, motivating. This is powerful stuff, folks. This is powerful. She had commentary on so many different topics and doing it unafraid. Unafraid. Just take the moment and soak this in. Because you did this in COVID, and look at what it's doing now, Gaynelder. Look at the people. Look at what's going on. You're muted, Gaynelder. You're muted. Gaynelder, you're muted. not hearing. Unmute. Oh my goodness. As she unmutes, guys, you've got to share. This is powerful stuff. Why aren't you? It's not unmuting. You have to unmute. Okay. Okay. You might have to go out and come back in, Gaynell. Leave and come back in, and let's see. Unafraid, unfiltered, love it. Unafraid, unfiltered, love it. Gaynelda, could you just go, leave and come back? Let me send her a message. Oh, she's on now. You're on now, Gaynelda. We want to hear her, don't we? Let me see if we can send a message to her to go and leave and come back. Uh, I wonder if she would hear me and to just leave and come back. Oh man, aren't you guys inspired tonight? Isn't this inspiring? This is coming from our youth. And do you see when she told, do you remember when the prime minister was on the, showing the gun sign? Who remember that? Who remember that? This prime minister was on a stage showing the gun sign right here in Barbados. And thinking it's cool. And look at what's happening now with crime and violence in this country. 32 murders by the gun. A young child sitting in her doorway, 12 years old, and shot in right here. The bullet pierced her like she's Jesus. When you look, you see the hole going through the picnic hand. Huh? And this girl could capture that. Let's bring her back in. Gaynelda, are you there, darling? Can you hear us?
Yes, please.
Wonderful.
Yes, I can
wonderful,
hear you.
wonderful. Oh, goodness. Wow, wow, wow. This is powerful stuff. Unafraid, unfiltered. People say, somebody said, the only dialect missing is, no. Well, can I give you a little joke about that? I said that in a chat, and in a Christian chat, and let me tell you, I clear out the whole thing. I didn't know it was something bad, but anyway. But no, you said something you talked about a leader, one of our leaders was showing the gun sign on the I'm surprised that you would put that in. I mean, again, somebody said they're afraid. Okay. You had that, you talked about that because I saw that. And as someone born in Jamaica, I thought that seemed a little irresponsible. Do you tie that in any way to what's happening now with the crime and violence in our country? Do you see any connection to that? To what's happening now?
Well, maybe not. Well, maybe not only directly that, but on a whole, there's a lot of things that ties in with this youth that I think that we don't look at either. It all stems from a lot of us saying things like, "My children can't lack for nothing," right? So you give your child from young a PS4 or Xbox, and they play things, shooting games all day. What you think that happened? What's happening there? You're teaching them to think that killing is fun, killing is nothing. You're desensitizing them to certain things, but they must have a PS4 because everybody in the gang got a PS4. They must be able to play these things. So it's like a lot of us has also contributed to the minds of where the young people are. We got songs where we promote things like girls want gunman in the hole.
Really?
But
So
then when the boys be gunmen, be saying, yeah, they got a song that be like that, and these say that obviously get played. And I'm not saying that there wasn't always gun music, because at our time, we like Bounty Killer and all these people. But these children are very different because if you look, we transition into technology. They were born into it, which they'll actually look at it very differently. And I think that that's where we miss where these children minds are at and how big influence is. Okay, look at the example of the little children going accents. They are watching American shows and they have Belgian parents, Belgian friends, Belgian teachers, but they have an American accent. So what else are they picking up? You know, it's so deep. It's so
It
deep.
is. That's very
So
deep.
they are being,
Yeah.
their minds are being infiltrated different to us. I actually saw a study recently that said, you know, the consumption of social media and stuff, the brain wasn't made for so much information. So what happens? It scrambles your dopamine receptors. So imagine from a baby, we put children in front of a tablet and they can't do nothing without having devices. You see babies crying and then you get them back there. It's literally like a drug to them, you know. So therefore whatever's coming through there, we have to be more serious about it because they're not like us that saw the transition. They take this thing to a different level. Is like a way of life for them. So we don't actually see how much they're being influenced by these things. So we have to be more intentional on what we let our children see. People, parents give their children phones and stuff and don't even check back to see what they're talking about. So your son having beef with boys in group chats until you don't even know that your son has beef because you don't look. You don't know what time your girl child going to sleep at night. You have a predator in your home because one time your parents call we in the street like, come on, you gotta be inside. But you know you child protected. No, you child got a device. You in your bed and you don't know a 37-year-old man talking to your 50-year-old daughter. You know, so it's more about being very more active as what we did. So it's like we reaping a lot of what we saw
We're reaping
in
a lot of what we sow, and we're having
seeing the
that.
repercussions, you know.
Yes, yes. Can you hear her? Can you hear her? Oh my goodness, this is very very powerful here tonight. You know, Genelda, you were speaking.
And I think that that's what happening to a lot of the younger generation rape.
Yes. I wish we. This is guys. This is why I would love to be able to have an interview like this, face to face, so we don't have any issues with the internet. Because she's stuck again. I'm gonna see if if she could leave and come again. Because we want her wheel and come again. So Genelda, feel free to leave and come again. I think Genelda, it might be your. I know she has a background on, and it might be the background that is an issue. Dave, can you play again? Play the remainder of it while we wait on her.
Yes, we can stop it. Put the power in we hands. But first, we must be more aware of what's going on in this land. For the most important thing right now is the vote in an opposition. Let me share with you my proposition. Ever had a friend that like their yes men that don't want you to tell them when they're wrong and want you to pretend? You see, this dictatorship style ain't working for me because the truth is sometimes you need that voice to disagree. To keep things fair and bring another point of view, sometimes out with the old and in with the new. But you know the Godson seats that already secure. And if you know where I live, you know that one down there for sure. But the shaky ones, we need to attack strategically and don't tell me the rest ain't ready. Because someone wanna accustom voting blindly. For the last time, not I wanna vote for people wanna never see. And they still do want ask. I know someone wanna will agree with me. So right now we need to move some. Don't take it personally. We got to treat this like a case and we's the jury. You see, we got to treat this like a case with prosecution and defense and listen to both sides and conclude what makes the most sense. Because if we do 30 seats to one side again, it's going to be a grave offense. And how the economy looking, it's going to be our children's expense. But what I know, it ain't got nothing to do with this. Just a divisory plan that we need to dismiss. The two Barbaduses, we need to come together in unity, and voting in an opposition is the best thing for the country. I've got a dream like Martin Luther King and stubbornness like Rosa Parks. Cause what I come to tell you, it coming from my heart. In a country that black balls, yet I ain't got no fear. Because to change history, Mandela sat down for 27 years. For the first time, so many people aren't participating. But let me tell you something, not voting is still voting. Because if you got 20 people and only 5 vote for the next, then you basically vote for the winning side because you didn't vote against. So I beg you along and hard to go on to the polls. I know enough of we lost faith because who feel it knows. But we need to do something to end this drought. Go on tomorrow and make that vote count.
Oh wow, listen. Oh my gosh. Gaynelder for Prime Minister. Gaynelder, you said something there that really tug of my heart, and I'm a firm believer, and that's one of the reasons I do this show. Gaynelder, you said that Barbados, you're telling Barbados, we need an opposition. We need a strong opposition. Why is that important to you?
Because for me, we choose sides, right? We treat politics like if it's sports. I just want to be on the winning side, but we don't see the part it plays in being your eyes and ears. If you look and see, anytime a party is out of government, that's the most time they tell you the truth, right? That's the most time let's get information coming out. So when you have a government that is all well on one side, this is why when I was walking on the bridge and the monument in town was building, I literally, because I listen a lot, right? It's here more than people say it's here. I could hear people chattering like, what's this? What is that building here? So we just never know what's going on because you have no opposition in there to push back. You have nobody to come and tell the citizens, okay, this is the next move. So we just see the money getting spent and you never know what is going on until it's over. So you don't, so every time there's some people come, we be like, oh no, B and D. But from the time you take part in the division, they win already. That's why I don't play aside. I don't do politics. I say I can be a political grasshopper. I vote for who I think is best at the time, who's beneficial, that kind of thing. I don't do sides because the point of it, they don't care which side you vote for as long as you're divided. So that's the same thing. We need to stop choosing and because loyalty to a party seems like craziness to me. If you come into a party and you like this person, and let me say you sign on for me, and that person leaves and you got another person coming in, who's to say this person has the same views as the last person? So how can you stick with a party wholeheartedly and just be like, I am a B or I am a D, when there's different moving parts all the time, different people, different views, different motives, So
Yeah.
is
This is
opposition to me
real
is our eyes
consciousness.
and ears.
Yeah, this is consciousness coming from a young person because that is my view. And Gaynelda, that's why I'm doing the show. That's why the show exists. Because I really, from in the bottom of my heart, they cuss me all the time. They call me all kinds of names, Gaynelda. But truly, I believe the same as you do that there
Mm-hmm.
must be a strong opposition in Barbados. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. There does need to be a
Yeah.
strong opposition.
And, and,
So I am.
and at the end of the day, if we claim that we are a democratic country, of course you need another side. You can, because nothing is worse. People think that it's bad to vote for the lesser of two evils, but it's even worse if you only have one option.
Mm,
It's worse if you
mm,
only have one
mm.
option.
Do you think right
So
now with
if
what
you
is
vote
happening
on
in
one side,
Barbados, now, do you think that people feel they only have one option?
yeah, because right now, the other, well, you had the crossing over and stuff. To me, I don't know. I don't rate the crossing over. If it is to me that you had left the party and start a new party, because that's what I think we need to. We need other options besides what is there. So besides B and D, I think we need other people to raise up and start parties and stuff like that. But if you had went against, but you was fighting with these people, you were against their views, and then you cross over to say I on this side, it's giving me disloyalty to me. It's giving traitor. It's giving I when it comes to them things. And then it's like we see these people are friends even outside of that. So it's like it's just a big politics is a big game. And if you don't play along, then we have the power. But I think that people really feel like they have no option at this time, especially the fact that Bezos are not people that speak out. So there's so much people right now that's suffering. There's so much people that are going through things mentally. There's so much people that feel like there's so much going on in the country, but they're of course scared to speak. Because everybody would write something in the comment section, but the same thing you said to put a face to opinion is a whole other story.
Can
To
you
put your
repeat
face to
that?
opinion in this country
Repeat
is a whole
that.
other story.
Repeat,
But yeah,
Gaynelda, repeat what you just said about putting a face in the comment. Can you remember what you just said? Cause say
to
it
put
again for
your
my lovely
face, to put everybody would comment in the comment section, but to put your face or your opinion is a whole nother story in this country. Because now everybody knows who you are, you know how it is. We have a lot of yarfolism. So I've had people cuss me too. I've had people tell me all kind of things just because I comment about stuff, but that doesn't do anything for me. Stand up and say your views. Stand up and say your views. You know? I'm brave enough. That's
Yes.
all right.
Wow. Wow. This is just awesome. I mean, we've gone over the time, another just another 5 minutes or so, my dear. Oh Lord, I wish the Wi-Fi was working better. You know, you have to come back some other time. But oh Lordy,
I
Lordy.
know that the devil. The devil trying to get us.
You know, Gaynelda, listen, folks, we need to have, you all need to make it possible that I can have a sit down interview face to face with Gaynelda. Who's for that? Give me a thumbs up that let us do this again with Gaynelda, but we're going to sit down and we're going to have this face to face where we have no interruptions because we want to hear, we want to learn from you. Oftentimes, Ganelda, we get together and all of us the same age and we think the same, and it's good to hear. It's refreshing. For me, that is, and I know
Right.
everybody here is loving it. It's good to hear what it is that you have to say. Let me ask you a question, Ganelda. This is, you wrote this particular piece during COVID, which was probably about what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right? 3 years ago.
It was
Now we're here.
2021. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're here now in 2024. What are some of the issues that you would, if you were writing a piece now, what would be some of the issues that you would put in your piece?
I would definitely write about the gun violence right now that going on. You
Mhm.
know, I probably will write it from the perspective of the youth. Trying to put myself in their shoes because I think that that's what we don't see.
And what is the
We,
perspective of
as
the
I said,
youth?
we invested in.
What is the perspective of the youth?
I think that the youth don't. I don't think that the youth think that there's hope. Barbados has become a dream killer, basically, as a creative on this side. It pains me so much to see that we have so much talented people in our country and we do not invest in them. Since he was talking about sports and all these other things. So if you have a young person that's watching, let me say their parent. I'm watching my mother work really hard. She even went back to school in her 40s and all this thing, and I still see my mother work to the bone. So we don't even see that things like raising the cost of living all the time. You think that they're not looking at that. So when you realize your mother's struggling and she's doing everything the right way, you think that I want to go back and follow and do it the right way? I want easy money now. So we don't ever see that all the things that are happening in our country are really things like the fact that everybody sees people always talk about conflict resolution, but the children are not even having enough time together to farm, learn how to solve conflicts. Everybody head in the phone, like people talk about the zombie apocalypse. We are zombies. We have become zombies. It's so scary to see the way how I see all the young people basically racing where the youth just sitting down staring in the phones. They literally do nothing. So how are you going to know what you are good at? You know, like how you are going to have dreams and hopes when this is all you do there, and people are actually proud. You will hear parents say things like, my daughter don't be outside and she just be in the corner pushing phone or whatever, and you think that that's saying to be proud of, like, that's actually crazy to me, because it's like their whole youth is wasting away. We wasn't only playing. What we don't see is that when we was outside playing and climbing trees and things, we wasn't only playing, you know. We were critical thinking. We were learning how to problem solve. We were learning how to we had to learn how to socialize with each other. You know, if you want a fruit, you got options. You got pelt, you got climb in that tree, or you got a stick. So it's like you always were challenged by simple things. These children are not being challenged. They are not learning how to solve, and then their attention span is extremely short. The teachers are leaving their profession in droves all over the world because it feels like they are just there. The children are not, they are not paying attention because the attention span so short. You on social media taking in all of this. You're literally telling a story in a minute, where you could see people tell a story in a minute from beginning to ending, and you know, content and stuff. You think that
Yeah.
children sit down in the class for an hour and taking anything after a while, they are zoned out. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
this generation and the things that we just see as surface is really bad, and that's why things are keep it's gonna get worse every year. Look at the common interest, the private schools is beat every year. There's a reason for that. They said that they give away scholarships. Year before they said they gave away 25. The year after that was half, it was 12. You know, so it's like if you look, there is a decline happening, and nobody wants to look at the root of what is happening. Why in 2024 we aren't giving scholarships to creatives?
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm.
still only doing science scholarships and stuff. So we sit down and let children see this amount of professions on the internet, and then we want to give them this amount of options. So therefore, it happened to me in school. I felt really slighted in school, and I'm about to be 36. When I was going into fourth form, our principal came and said everybody needs to pick a foreign language and science. No, you had no idea what I wanted to do. I had already made up my mind. I wanted to be a fashion designer from the time I was 14 years old. And after that, to be honest, like, I never even told my mother this or anything. I purposely failed CSCs and stuff because I felt like, why am I here? You know, I
Mm.
always was a girl that knew what I wanted, but you never gave me the opportunity to be myself because you decide what I wanted to do is not important. It's just a hobby, you know? So that's the way
Mm.
how a lot of young people feel. A lot of the things that they're interested in, there's no programs for them, there's no legs, there's nobody investing, there's nobody interested. You either still the same thing, we got lots of lawyer, bank manager, accountant, we still push up these things, and the people who actually are the ones who just go there and put Barbados on the map, which is runners and artists and all of that. We are not paying them $250,000. See what you say? We own superstars, and we will never pay them that kind of money. But you bringing in people to pay them that money, and what makes it worse that we don't see as business. We keep supporting this stuff, but the money is not recirculating, and that's a reason why the economy is just the way how it is too. So all of that we'll talk about, because if we don't pay our own people so that our own people can pay other people and the money recirculate, and we keep giving the outsiders. So we have people like Afrobeats artists coming in crop over now again. Oh, this $1,000 I going about the business. You know what I mean? Things like Harvey
Right.
Master always say, I stopped supporting Harvey Master. Where are you coming from the seat to take money to go back? Long about your business where we could get to we own boss. And they just watch we out but Harvey Master before we but we own boss. All of these things as business we have to wake up and see that it's not conducive to us. It doesn't make sense. So when you think the youth don't see all of these things, so Barbados feel like there's no hope. It feels like a dream killer. People literally walk up to me and ask me all the time, girl, why you still here? And think
Mm.
is a compliment because you're telling me that I have to leave my country to be successful, but then all kind of people could come in here and access money. How you think that people like me feel seeing things like that? You know? That anybody could come and
Wow.
get $1 billion, but then when it comes to us, we are always slated. We are always pushed on the back burner. You got talent, so that means you gotta go along with your business called we ain't supporting you. That's what it feel like, and people actually think it's a compliment telling me things like that. Like, girl, you got guilt outside the Barbados, you're getting them in here, huh? But all kind of other people coming and accessing your money. I don't understand.
Wow.
So
This is
it
so
goes
deep.
back to Yeah, yes,
This
yeah. As a
this
creative,
is
and it's
yeah.
not. I am not just speaking for myself. This is discussion that creative has all the time. But as usual, just you know how it is. We don't speak up about anything. So we the youth has, and then when it come back to even like letting the youth know what is Bajan, I feel like they don't even understand. So that's why today they can be infiltrated by all kind of things. You know, we were speaking about Jamaica. To me, they are more patriotic. For us now, we don't pass down things like cuckoo. We ain't teaching the younger people. So eventually, how we got a national dish rank, eventually on when the old people die out and stuff like that, who can this cuckoo? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of
Yes.
things that will continue to be diluted as you go along. Have a shift in the way the youth does act because they don't know what it is to be Bajan, which goes back to the same patriotism I spoke about. You know? So
Oh
um
gosh, this
it's
is,
a lot.
you know,
It's a
you
lot.
said
Especially when
something
you can
here.
see and people don't
Yeah.
understand how hard it is when you can see.
Whew, you know, you said something, and I want to, you know, you talk about the Barbados is becoming a dream killer, that the young people have no hope. Are we hearing her? Because we're asking about what is happening to our youth. Did you hear her? A lot of times, you know, we judge, you know, we do a lot of judgment, of the young people, or we don't listen to them. You heard? Did you hear her? A lot of the young people believe that this is a place that kills dream. It's a dream killer. When people's dreams are, they feel like their dreams are killed, what happened? There's depression, right? And all kinds of things that's not, you know, it's not great
Yes.
that begins to happen to you emotionally. So, Ganella, Ganelda,
Yeah.
wow. So do you really think that that is part of what's happening with our young men, that they feel hopeless? Why all does that, do you see a direct correlation with
Yeah,
the
for
crime?
sure, for sure.
Ah,
And also it's like we don't ever see that the higher the cost goes, we are erasing the middle class right now, right? So you know what's going to happen. Going to get because everybody middle class, which is the people who actually just want to be comfortable enough to live a certain way. You know what I mean? So if you
okay,
erase
Grenada,
those
we're going to
people
let
and
you
you
go. We want
separate
to hear what
Barbados
you
even
have to
further,
say.
and then you have
We
I know
want to
right
hear what you have to say. Grenada, I'm going to ask you to to go off again and come back on. This time, is it possible? Do you have a background? Have you put up a background? Is that the virtual background you have there? Okay.
no, that's real.
Okay. So it's just, so probably if you if you come back on, and let's try without your camera. I hate that because we want to see you. Try without your camera to see in terms of your bandwidth. We want to hear you. I want to hear what you have to say about the middle class and so on. Okay. So leave and or just turn off your camera. And let's see if that helps.
Yeah, something happening.
Listen, folks. As she sorts that out, okay, she's got it. She's got it. She's got it. Yes, Ganel, the speaker. Let's see if it's any better. Came back on. Let's see if that's
You
any
can hear me?
better. I'm hearing you. Let's see if that's better. Are
You
you
can.
near your internet box? Okay, that's all right.
No,
Next
I
time
can
we
move.
going to,
Let me move.
you're gonna try to move. Okay, she's gonna try to move, and let's see if that is going to help. Oh my God! Somebody said we can't lose her. Listen, we can't lose her. We This is good tonight, guys. This is amazing tonight. Have you shared? Ask yourself that. Have I shared yet? Use this time to share. Send it to somebody and tell them, turn on the thing. Turn it on. Log on. Log on. This is amazing, guys.
You
Oh,
can hear
wow.
me still?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Let's continue talking and
All
let's
right.
see.
So
You were
right, I was
talking
saying
about.
that the erasing of the middle class.
Mhm. Yes, continue. It's much better.
So when you erase the middle class, comfortable, right? Majority people don't even want to be rich. So when you erase the middle class, you are going to turn your country in a serious place of violence, because if the youth feel like they don't even can even make it to the middle and the jump seems so far to get on the other side. We already know the one of the playbooks of capitalism is poverty. There are two things that happen, and I think that we don't even realize that's why a lot of violence. People are angry. People have a lot on the land things. So that's like the girl that I see stabbing at the girl at KFC. That was so uncalled for. But I feel like people are on edge because they don't
Mm.
know how to express themselves, because they're hurting, they are going through stuff, and that, so you're going to see a lot of other triggered violence, which we don't want that as a small society. We do not want
Mm.
that as a small society. And I think that that is what is going to
So,
happen to the youth, because
Gaynelder,
it's
you're
like, if
saying right now,
go ahead.
you're saying right now that that gulf between what's happening with we're wiping out the middle class. You're saying, and so people are
Yes,
finding you're finding now that people are thinking it's hard to achieve anything financially and
correct.
economically, and
Yes, especially if we don't invest in creative. So even like how Ryan was and all these people, it's like we would invest in the person, but what about the system? So we always think about no instead of like the long haul. We are very reactive instead of proactive.
Mhm.
So if we want to really get, and then we talk about tourism, but we only do leisure. Yeah, there's something called sports tourism as well. So if we are serious about sports, then all of those things we
Mhm.
need to look into. So if you got a boy on the block that he's fast, but if you realize, well, in this
Mhm.
country you don't get no way as a runner, he rather want thief or call some boy by gunpoint, because what makes sense, in the makes sense using my talent, but you only get no way here. That's the way how it is feel.
Right. Wow. Wow. Oh. Oh goodness. Gaynelder, this is everybody's messaging on me on my phone there. Ganelda, what else do you want to say to us before you go tonight?
Um, I just want to say that it's important for us to understand who we are as a people first and foremost. I think that that's where we
Mm-hmm.
need to get back to, right? When you understand who you are, then you could only make a game plan from there. If it is that we are influenced so much by the outsiders, because that's exactly what happening to the world. It's not only Barbados, the Western society has basically taken over everybody's perspective. Even though when we look at them, they are a mess themselves. They have the worst leaders, richest places, but have the most homeless people, a lot of shooting, can't control the violence. Like, why are we taking cues from people like them?
Mm-hmm.
So we have our youth looking at social media and all these other things, taking cues from these people, even though that the results are very clear that these people don't have their act together. So when you know who you
Right.
are, you look at yourself and you want to fix you, instead of looking externally. And when we get to and do that and push up our people, we have people here that are very talented and the go outside this country and they are somebody, but I feel like they just are very intentional of making them feel like they are nobody you know so when we push out our people and we learn to put our people in the foreground, and we come back to culture and understanding how to ground ourselves as a people, things will change, things will go back. It's not that we never have violence and stuff, but it's way worse, and that's because we basically losing ourselves as a people. If you ask the youth what it means to be Bajan, I don't think they could even answer you very well. So that's all I want to say. We need to look back at who we were, find out who we want to be as a people, and come together as a game plan. The same way how America has this theory to study American dream. Let's think about the Bajan dream. So everybody think about what you would like to see for your country, and
Mm.
once we come as a collective and we could come together on certain things and stop thinking about stop waiting for the government to do things. We as a people could do things for ourselves. Community programs, we start about things like I hear the government saying about gang road tennis recognized. Oh please, we don't even have road tennis playing in schools as a sport. It was never even offered road tennis to play. You just play basketball and all these outside sports. You don't even offer road tennis. You don't got no road tennis teams. So it's like they tricked us. They come and tell you things and they think you want to hear, but there's no action behind it. So if we want to see things, we need to come together as community and make things happen. That's basically what we want to say. We need to, you know, think about what we want for ourselves as a people.
You said something there which seemed to be like a call to action. You said Barbadians need to begin to say what is the Bayesian dream, right?
Correct. Yep.
What is the Bajan dream? I want people to call in 236-7000 and don't tell me you're afraid to call in. You heard this young Barbadian, beautiful woman, Barbadian woman speaking up tonight. So I don't want to hear any excuses from my Barbadian people tonight. Listen to me. 236-7000. I want you to come take and you're gonna say what you think is a Bajan dream. What is the Bajan dream? Is that what you're asking them, Genelda? You want to phrase the
Yes,
question?
please. Yes, please. What is the Bajan dream? I want everybody to think about it personally and think about it as a whole. You know what you would like to see for yourself, and then what you will, because you also gotta think about your fellow man when you think about a dream. You know, when Martin Luther King said I had a dream, when Arabara said he wanted to make sure everybody have free education, that was not for himself. That was because he wanted to bridge a gap. Because if you look and see, we had people who were hawkers and things that turn up and had children who were doctors and lawyers, and that was only because Arabara decided education was important enough that everybody, no matter where they're from, could get it. So now we going backwards where our educational system wanted. We was, we was boast about being the most literate, and now our children are going backwards, which is killing what this man basically worked so hard for. And I think that's one of the things that's very hurtful when you look back at history and see people putting the work and push, and then we are just letting it go down the drain from being influenced by outsiders. So we have to really look back at what we want for ourselves as Bajans and what we want for our fellow man as well.
Listen, guys, I'm not hearing the phone ring. I'm not. Listen, this is serious tonight, guys. This is serious. We must take this call to action. Everybody, listen. I should be saying I can't accept all the calls. Don't tell me we are afraid again tonight, folks. This is your time now. Genelda, a young Barbadian, is giving us a call to action. She says she wants to know from us, what is the Bajan dream? What is it that you are dreaming of? What do you think the Bajan dream is or should be? 236-7000. 236-7000. The number is on the screen, and I'm looking at my phone, and I'm thinking, if you really can't call in after something like this, I don't know, guys. Are we serious on here? Are we just doing a show? Is this entertainment for you? This is serious. Every night we play the national anthem. Every night we play the national anthem because this is so important. Okay, Serlene is calling. Okay. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, caller. How are you?
This is Serene.
Hi, Serlene. You are calling to be on the show?
Yes, I'm calling to be on the show. Just want to make a quick comment.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for calling.
Yes. I agree with the young lady wholeheartedly. Personally speaking, I used to teach, and I know teachers get a lot of bashing, but we were out there trying, to help the young people and so on. But there was this move, and she's correct, there was this movement which came in from the United States, and this is talking about the dream, fulfilling the dream, to get rid of a lot of the ideas of critical thinking. And I believe some people might get annoyed with me for saying this, that when the young people were separated through the lockdown, and then they go into school intermittently and all of that, it's because a lot of these young people to suffer. And then, as Kim Armstrong has said several times, the issue has not been addressed, where many young people left school and never really graduated. Like during that lockdown, a lot of them might have failed examinations, missed examinations, and then nobody looked back at them and tried to help them. So I really believe that the dream is still there, but I think we need to put a lot of effort behind the young people.
Yes. So in your own words, can you give us in a couple sentences what to you is the Bajan dream?
The Belgian dream is to be, I would say, um, to be positive in life, to trust God, to fulfill our dreams as Barbadians, and not to be infiltrated by a lot of what I call a lot of foreign things, a lot of behaviors that people say they imported, but we are the people who are behaving like that. So if you're killing the dream, you need to stop killing the dream and try to be positive and stop believing in these politicians so much. Young ladies, correct. They believe in that these politicians are going to solve everything, and they cannot. I grew up in a time maybe used to be really active in our communities in the housing areas, and so now that is not dead. But I think the thrust really is to stop people from fulfilling their dreams. We're going to do it for you. We're going to do it for you, and that kind of
Yes, yes.
backward thing. So I have a lot of hope in the youth. I know there are problems out there, but I don't think it's the youth's fault.
Yes, yes.
That's my take on it. I
Yes,
agree with that. It's
thank
not
you
their
so
fault.
much. Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome,
Charlene, for
Marcia.
calling. And so the Bajan dream for her is being positive, being patriotic, being just stop believing in the politicians to have the community spirit. That is the Bajan dream. Good night, caller. You are live.
Good night.
Yes, welcome to the Marcia Week Show. What is the Bajan dream? Tonight, we don't want to list the problems. We want to know what is the Bajan dream.
In a nutshell, a piece of the pie for
Mhm. She dropped
Question.
out there. She dropped out, hoping that she will call back. So let me see if I can help her out there.
yes. Good night
Yes, caller, go right ahead.
to everybody. Yes. I didn't know how to relate to the Bajan dream, but for me as a Barbadian, I think that people tired, really and truly tired of the struggles of life because every day we just waking up and everything changing. The supermarket saying for $1, you go back next week for four, and nobody is questioning it. I think yeah, now met a real good point. Like being coming together as a people is the solution. When one body speak out, everybody else behind there keeping the mouth shut, but they're going through the same thing. And nobody wants to face that. Everybody just want to go up on everybody. In France, bread is the cheapest thing, and the currency is a one cent. And people come together, and that was something that I started to think, and I said, like, look at what mankind coming together could do.
Mm.
And that's what they just don't do. A man rather know that he never got the stick and he could buy bread. So he got one up and he never. That what people in this society come to. Got him one up on somebody. Nobody looking at equality. Nobody looking at being the brothers keeping them on. Nobody cares about nobody. I think that it is totally the middle class gone long time. Even before COVID, middle class was totally wiped out. Is either you're rich or you're poor. You understand? And the rich hate poor people, and I see that because I realize that people is pick up people that work nowhere and get a job. And you know what I'm gonna do? The government is credit poor people labor. Guys saying that won't stopping. Stop crediting poor people labor. If you're gonna tackle somebody off of the block and you're gonna tackle people that have nothing going on and put them to work, why don't pay them? Why they got to pay forever to get the money when you can't owe the government a cent? There's a lot of things that a lot of people stand aside and that we may get no pay because it happened to one body and people don't focus on it till they come home at them.
Yes. So you're saying it's hard for you to dream because of what you're experiencing right now.
Yes, everybody experiencing a hard life, cost of living. One time you could have called a friend and get $100. No, you saying friend want $100 from you. And I mean, like at the end of the day, middle class we poor, and we do not stand up for each other. We just want one up on the person. If I gonna pierce the person, you gonna brand and pair, you got one up on me that way.
Yes.
Oh, people ain't looking at equality at all. Everybody going from God. You understand? And we was a God fair country, and what God says that a lot of evil off of over Barbados right now, whereas even me, sometimes they would be in a van and they would be irritated with an old person, which we supposed to look out for old people. Old people, children, and pregnant people. These people that never used to get touched in Barbados. We had a sense of order. There's no order no more. Like people care nothing about little children. People ain't caring about old people, pregnant women standing up in vans. So understand where it is now. Every man for himself. And that is like crabs in a barrel, and that way people killing each other because nobody ain't care about nobody.
Wow, thank you so much, caller. I could listen to you. I mean, I feel the pain in your heart, and I mean, it's real for her. She just can't dream because there's too much going on. Let me just
You can't dream.
thank
You
you.
can't dream because you ain't seeing it tomorrow. You ain't seeing when you wake up in the morning, all you're doing is surviving in a dream.
Hold a minute.
I want to
Janelle want to say something to you.
I want to speak on what she said. Now, years ago, I had traveled to the States, right? And I made up my mind that I would not want to live there because of the coldness of the people. It wasn't the cold from the cold, it was coldness of the people. I remember seeing this man on the train, and I like books, so I was trying to see what book he was reading. You know, the man had the book upside down. So it was not that he was reading, it was that you cannot look at people. You know, and I feel like, as the same thing I said, the Western society has infiltrated us so much that we are living like them. If you go out in those places, that's where everybody's come here and say, when you ask everybody what they love about Barbados, is always say the people because of the warmness. You know, and we are losing it. Our children actually act no, like, you remember years ago we watched Murray, and the people used to bring the children up on Murray show that was ever so disruptive and all kind of thing. We children acting just like them children now. So everything she's saying about coolness and looking out for your neighbor and stuff, that is so true. And we haven't realized that we've been infiltrated from the outside in. So she is totally correct. She is totally correct, and that
Totally correct.
coolness
Yeah.
is infiltrated.
Yes, thank you, Gaynelder. We have another caller. Look at what's happening tonight, Gaynelder. What's the good night, caller? Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Yes,
Thank
good,
you for
good
viewing.
night again.
Yes, what is your Bajan dream, madam?
As I said before, in a nutshell, a piece of the pie for everybody, not this dragging down that we're seeing now, a lifting up. There are very few communities, to my mind, in BAME where you could, neighbors were so giving, it was different. But nowadays, it isn't like that for the most part, just in pockets,
Mm-hmm.
just in pockets.
Yes.
And that hurts me.
So your dream is that we would have a more community spirit.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that again. And in some cases, in fact, in a lot of cases, I think we've thrown out the baby with the bathwater.
Yes.
When I was coming up as a child, we had to make up our own games. Some of us didn't have televisions, but I remember in my gap, although we were poor, we had a TV and all the youngsters who were good behaved. Because my mother, you couldn't curse at my mom's place. It was never allowed, not even a swear word. So all the children in the neighborhood who didn't curse could come and sit at our house and watch the black and white TV. Because in them days, it didn't color TV. Because
Yes.
I'm 60 now. And they will watch TV and then go home. My mother's best friend, when she was at home, would cook for us. And and vice versa. How much of that do you see happening still?
Yes.
Everybody shared. It wasn't an if but say maybe. No matter how little you had, you always had something for somebody else.
Yes. Yes.
We lost too much of who we were, what for, and I think it's because we signed on the bottom line, so now we have to pay the piper, and the piper tune ain't easy.
Yes.
It
Well,
ain't easy.
That's true.
well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Someone else is trying to
You're
get in.
welcome.
All right. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Appreciate it. Pleasant good night, caller. Good night. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
I got it.
Yes, just turn down the device that you're listening to us on. We are
Hello?
yes,
Hello?
yes, sir. What I'm saying to you, yes. Hello, good night. Turn down the device you're listening to us on. Okay, wonderful. Good night, sir. Good night, sir. Yes,
I'm willing to tell you what is the Bajan dream.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Yes. The Bajan dream, as I know it, I'm a person that's in my late 60s.
Yes.
The Bajan dream was godliness, lovingness,
Yes.
and unity, which was the strength for the Bajan people.
Yes.
As a Bajan, in the early days, we, as children, we had to respect our elders, or the same elders would have cut your ass. Number one. Number two, we had to apply the love that was given our parents to the elders, the neighbors. The reason now for these things not being what they are is because over the years we have allowed people coming into our country always to try to tell us what it was to be a person in your country. The reason why we are at this state is the political parties. They use the people that come to the country to vote for them to eliminate one party or eliminate the other. The reason why it's at this state now is because the Barbados Labour Party before and the Barbados Labour Party now, both of them have destroyed the Barbadian fabric. They have sold the things that Barbadians had dear to them. So let us start from where Ribisco, the National Bank. These are the things that Bajans always brag about, the things that brought in the money and kept the country afloat. We had a place called Shipping and Trading where there were many businesses that you could go and get some material and build a house. These are the things that is all gone now. So they were all swapped and switched to people who came to the country. So the privilege was given to those people. Let us start from the beginning.
Yes.
The Guyanese, they got the privilege, so you can't even get a piece of land to go and plant as a Bajan.
Yes, yes.
Because what actually happened is that after the slave master lose the Bajan labor to work on the plantations, and they started to farm, they tried to disrupt and destroy all the farming to make us believe that the Bajans weren't doing anything. Then the land was passed along to other people. So a Bajan can't go and get a piece of land to plant because it's already given up to somebody else.
Wow.
Survival in Barbados have become the hardest thing in the world. The Prime Minister going after told the Bajans that his house was built by Guyanese. This is what destroyed the Barbadian psyche. In other words, there were a time when the Bajan carpenters used to build all the different carpentry and fancy things in the house.
Yes.
And they went to Trinidad and was sold for next to nothing, and then the Bajans weren't paid. The doors that we buy and put on the front of our house were built by Bajans, and they cost us almost nothing. Now, you can go to the store and build a door, and as soon as the rain fall on it, it drops down like a pack of cards. And that same door costs you thousands of dollars, even though within 6 or 7 weeks it drops to pieces. And it comes from Trinidad.
Yeah. So your dream, and just to give, I mean, you're talking a lot of facts as everybody's saying here. So
just
your
listen
dream,
to me.
you'll
hear everything.
Yes, your big dream.
The furniture in the house. I can relate. They were all built by my father. My father was a carpenter, a joiner. There were the days when the people could go to the joiners and get your furniture built. Now, you go to the Indian man and you buy the things. Within 6 weeks, they fall to pieces. But the funny thing is about it is that they've learned us to love everybody else that love one another. So we don't love one another. So then we talk about angry. We got to be angry because if you can't survive in the country of your birth, where can you survive?
Yes, yes.
So
sir, just because I want, the only reason I'm stopping you, hold a minute, sir. The only reason I have to stop it because I know there are others trying to come on. So your 3 areas is godliness, lovingness, and unity. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. I know you have a lot more to say. And what you can do is give me send me a message, and I'll have you come in. And I love what you're talking about. Let's have you talk a bit. Spend some more time and elaborate a bit more. Okay, when we have more time.
Also,
thank you.
Caswell Franklin.
Okay.
I'm a common mayor member.
You're a common mayor.
Tell him up and on.
All right, no problem. Send me a message privately, and we will do that. Thank you so much. God bless you. Wow. I mean, Gaynel, what you heard these things, right? What are your thoughts? Is she there?
I didn't hear what you say.
No, I was asking you were hearing the gentleman talking about even manufacturing and so on, right? What's your thought?
It is true. It is true what he's saying about we looking on the inside. As he said, like we start to outsource everything, even down to the fact we don't see we are squeezing ourselves so much when we sell things, because you're not only selling a company. What you do is also sell jobs. Because all right, let me say you sell a hotel, right? With the whole CSME stuff, let me say a training come in, buy a hotel. They also bring their own people to manage and stuff. So then it's only the lower income jobs then that are left for the Barbadians. So what you do is continue squeeze yourself, not only by you letting the money trickle back out to outsiders, because as you say, you're a Jamaican, they say only 5%, 15% of every dollar, 15 cents of every dollar in Jamaica goes back to Jamaica. Majority people own all the beachfronts and stuff for outside. So you say that what Barbados, the more we sell, we are not only squeezing ourselves economically, where our the money is trickling outside and nothing is coming back in, because we ain't got no resources. We dependent only on tourism. So a lot of the other things where we will make money to reinvest and bring money, even sugarcane now is no longer a thing by the government, which is the last thing them sell off. But you also sell a lot of jobs and positions. So a lot of people just only then able to get the jobs in the hotels where it's like the cleaning and stuff, because the managers and all of this are brought from the people countries. You know? So we squeezing ourselves at every corner and we're not realizing.
Wow. Listen, we have someone from overseas actually calling. Welcome, sir, to the Marcia Week show. What do you think
Thank you very much.
Yes, what do you think is a Bajan dream?
Currently, I don't think Bajans they don't really have a dream.
But what do you think it should be
just like
then?
the young lady just said, we as the Bajans have been infiltrated by outside forces. This is way deeper than Bajans realize it is. There's a lot of back and forth going on between the BLP and the DLP parties as we speak, right? And I sent a message, but apparently it was too long.
Okay, hold a second, please. Mr. Sir, we want to know what is the Bajan dream, right? As much as possible. What is the Bajan dream?
Like I said, currently there's no business dream. The business dream should be to get back to basics.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the dream, but currently there's no dream. The dream right now is to mimic outside forces. That's a dream that is going on in Barbados right now, but I think they should get back to basics.
And what are the basics you want them to get back to?
The basics is from way back in the day when people actually looked out for each other.
Mm.
And that's how we grew up. Where just like the guy was speaking about, basically you can go to a neighbor's house, you can grab some food. You could be in the neighborhood and get some breadfruit, some roast, and buy some fish and stuff. Like those are the basics. Just looking out for one another. But there's no looking out. This like lady said, there's no looking out for each other right now. It's all about self, only because you're living like the enemy. The enemy have infiltrated, and now we have become the enemy.
I see. Yes.
But all that is by design, though.
Yes. So
it's by design. So I want the business people to understand that this is not because people keep blaming me and Motley. Me and Motley is not running Barbados.
Okay. All right.
This is deeper than the party.
Deeper than the party. So let me ask you something. Sir, you're in the diaspora. You're in the diaspora. Yes. What you're there? What is your dream still for this community spirit for Barbados? Or what can you absolutely do to instill that dream? The question is, you're in the diaspora. Exactly where are you calling from?
I'm from Canada.
You're from Canada. Okay.
Yes.
What do you think the diaspora can do to instill that kind of dream in the Barbadian people?
Oh boy, that's a good question. What can we do?
Yes.
I think what I think what Bajans can do is to for parents to attend to the youth, number one.
But what can the diaspora? But hold a minute. What can the diaspora do? Because you're in the diaspora. You're in Canada, right? And right. I love to. I used to live in the diaspora, so I want to know, what do you think that you can do? If you can't answer, no, that's okay. We can always pick. I have your number. I reach back out to you, but it's something I want those in the diaspora to think about, because it's one thing to sit down and we see what is happening. I want us to take the conversation a little deeper and to begin to think, okay, so what can I do to instill that dream in my Barbadian people? Okay.
Yes, I totally get what you're saying. I guess we got to get more involved. I think lend as much support as possible, be more involved, make the youth aware, even the locals that are older, to make them know and understand that this is not just coming from at home, but is there outside forces that are at work to keep us divided as a people, because there is an agenda.
Yes. Understood. I have your number now, so I'm gonna reach out to you because I want you to put some more. Thank you for your contribution and what the diaspora can
Please
do.
reach out to me. And before you go, I just want you to I reach out to me because I want to give you some information pertaining to the Barbados government being a corporation.
All right. Okay, sir. Okay. We can do that at another time. Okay. Thank you. I'll reach out to you. Thank you. God bless.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Wow. Okay. We have another one here. So I wanna. Oh boy, GAYNELDER. I know I might be taking up a lot of your time, but you're starting something. This is the first we've had so many people calling in, and you've touched them. You're doing your job. Good night, caller. Yeah, just speak up a little for me, please. Speak up a little bit for me, please. I know this is Paul. Good night, Paul.
A blessed good night to you and to the loyal opposition.
Yes, good night, sir. Just speak up a little, push a little bit more for me. What do you
Oh,
think? Yes, thanks for calling. What is the Bajan dream?
all right. Well, the to me, the Bayesian dream is to be independent
Mm-hmm.
and what I call the four F's, which is free from financial fear.
Mm-hmm.
Free from
Hmm.
financial fear.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Right
that.
now, the cost of living is FF,
Mm-hmm.
financial fear.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time where we used to embrace our wages, but right now we are afraid of our wages. Right now, there's a fear of finance.
Mm-hmm.
We
Hmm.
frightened to the bills.
Hmm.
We frightened when we go to the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
We even frightened when we go to the gas pumps.
Mm.
So we even frightened when we go to the doctor because the bill, the doctor bill,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that's what I'm saying, that the Bayesian dream is to be independent and free from financial fear.
Wow. That I love that. I love that. Gaynelda, you like that?
Yes, I love that.
Wow. Thank you so
But
much, Paul. Very
a
well.
part of being free from it is we understanding that when we reinvest our money, then it circulates. You see, a part of that community spirit is understanding. So if we don't put our money behind our people, same thing you mentioned about Marshall again, we will never pay inside of that kind of money because we really don't see them as stars, but we bring in outsiders and giving that kind of money to reinvest elsewhere. So if we really
Mm-hmm.
invest and get behind our people, most creators I know want to do something. Like I have so many things on my list where it's like I want to give back, but it's like if you have no money to do that, how are you going to start the programs? How are you going to do charities? So it's like if we really reinvest in our people, we will see so much change because not only is the money recirculated back inside the country, because people forget that the economy works.
Yes.
If I spend money with you and you spend it with another body, is something that is passed around. We also will see
Yes.
results where is that people have more money to so even like the art, if you pay the artist properly, guess what, you got dancers know that can get some work because know they can afford to bring a better production and everything would
Mm-hmm.
even be better, but it has to start with us. So we have to look at when we go to fets and stuff, just like I mentioned with the harbor master. I in 2021 I make my money, I'm not going back on the boat because for Imagine Weekend twice I saw we do something that I hated, where it was we booked Harbor Master and then we left our own boats to sea. And when Harbor Master say something wrong with the boat, we run back to our boats. What? You got book we own boats first and then they get the spillover, if anything. You got to, God said let your cup runneth over. So you got put what in the cup for we and then we'll run over for outsiders, but we just give people what inside the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
Mm.
problem.
Wow.
So that's the
Yes.
only way that we
Oh.
could be financial if if we reinvest with the people.
Wow, 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 wow. This is. I mean, for a young person, for you to be, you're going to a party on a boat, but you're still so conscious, realizing that listen, this is not staying in Barbados.
Yeah.
I think that is simply powerful right there. And if
Correct.
most of all of us begin to think like that, can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a caller
We
here
have
that
to be
we're
more
trying to.
intentional. It has to be more
Mhm. You were saying and talking about being intentional. Let me see if this is a. Okay, 1 second. We have a caller here. Good night. 8 3 4 4 5 Oh, 9 7 no, I'm not getting the person. They called. If you called, there, yes, just yeah, I'm trying to call them back because we missed them. But folks, the lines are open. The line is open 236 7000. That's the number to call. And if you're overseas, you is 1246 236 What is the Bajan dream? Let's keep it positive tonight. We've had a very tough weekend. We want to keep it positive tonight, guys. It's all. Remember, I told you from the start of it. It's all about this, and we picked up on that athlete. Remember the athlete that we started off with, who won the bronze medal for Barbados.
intentional.
And that's a dream that she had. And Kishana Niles. We knew about her tonight. and she held that Bajan dream in her heart, and she won a bronze medal. You know, you've got to have something that you're working towards, right? That's Gaynelda, right there, Niles. I'm sorry, Kishana Niles. I'm sorry, Gaynelda Grazette. She too
Correct. We don't know who
won a
our
gold
people
medal
are. We do
tonight.
not know who are the break sparks.
Repeat, Gaynelda.
No, was saying we do not know who our break sparks are. We don't put enough effort in pushing our break sparks up so that we could see who are the people that are doing things to contribute to the country.
Yes, 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 yes. I think we have another caller. Yes, hi, good night, caller. Good night. Pleasant good night. Okay, something is the matter there. Okay. I think there is another caller that is there. Let me try and get that caller. Guys, you can still call in. Okay, this is Teroni, and he's calling to tell us. Teroni, this is Teroni. He's calling to tell us what the Bajan dream is. Make sure you turn on your device, okay? Right. So you have when you call, guys, you have to turn down your device. Okay, turn down the device you're listening to us on, so that we'll be able to hear you. Good night, Teroni.
Yes, can I the Beijing dream? I feel the Beijing dream that we should elevate to a different level.
Mm.
Yes, we gotta get back to the roots, but still yet we gotta still catch up to our to internationally. I feel that it's lack of employment. One, two, resources is too short, and three, Beijing is not being as productive like international world. And the Beijing dream is like Beijing should be more independent. We are more dependent,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a very horrible thing that is going on in Barbados right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that we could get more independent is we have to have a large scale of job opportunities
Yes.
because the job opportunities in Barbados is very poor. Like also true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We, and also, yes, I know people got talent, people got trade, etc. But we got advertising businesses more not in the west hemisphere. We got to branch out more to the east.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So once we dominate globally, not just in the west hemisphere, dominate globally, that's when Ghana, Barbados, Ghana could be really on the map. But I don't feel even a lot of countries know about Barbados.
Yes. So we have to do some stuff internationally. Well, thank you so much, Teroni, for joining. We have another caller coming in. Thank you, Teroni. Great contribution. Thank you. God bless.
God bless.
Yes. Good night, caller.
Good night. Good night.
Yes,
Oh, thank
sir.
you.
Yes. Welcome to the
Able to get
Marcia
on.
Week Show.
And I thank you. All right, Mike.
Can you speak up a little bit more for me? Hello? Can you speak up, please? We're not hearing. We're not hearing you at all. Not hearing you at all. Okay. So please call back, caller, because we couldn't hear you properly. There's another call. Let's hope that this one. Okay. Can you turn off the device that you're listening to us on? Thank you so much. Please turn down the device. Yes. Good. Okay. Good night. Good night. Can you hear me now? Okay. Good night, caller. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good night.
Yes. Okay. Go right ahead. What is the Bajan dream?
Um, I think one of the things that I, when I was growing up, I would hear the older generation saying,
Can you speak a
I,
little louder? Can you push
sorry,
push
sorry,
your
sorry.
volume a little louder?
Okay,
Okay.
sorry. When I was growing up, I would hear the older generation saying, I don't want you to do what I did.
Mm.
So that to some extent, we curse some of the things that built Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as I have grown older, I've come to realize that we have not appreciated, I mean, the fundamentals that have built Barbados. That
Mm-hmm.
being respect for yourself and respect for, for others.
Yes.
We have somewhat abandoned the exposure of our children to moral and Christian values um, at, at those um, impressionable years, especially the whole area of Sunday school,
Mm-hmm.
so that um, any good building exists because of a good foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, we have to get back to the foundational blocks that has built Barbados to what it is today. I really admire the young lady who is on the show tonight, and that the show is not about politics and political persons. And one of the things that I have found is that when it comes to the community atmosphere, most of the community atmosphere has a political person at the top
Yes.
rather than the people within the community. And
Mm.
therefore, because a political person is at the top, I don't mean a politician, but they have put some person there, individuals shy away from getting involved because you're not political. I mean, I'm not political. So therefore, I'm going to shy away because so I think that both the church and the civic organizations need to recognize the powerful role that they can play, and therefore we as a people need to embrace those that are doing these things. You want what I'm saying? Not to prove to politicians that we don't need them, but at the same time, show it from one. In other words, if I can get it working here in my community, then I can sell it to another community, and
Yes.
that's one of the things that I believe that will reignite the Bayesian dream because individuals think. And the last thing we want to say is something that the young lady spoke about investing.
Yes.
We as Barbadians, we have not been taught the whole issue of investing,
Mm-hmm.
investing of our money, investing of our time, and in our talents, because we've become an instant generation. We
Mm-hmm.
want that's why T20 cricket is so powerful as against 4-day competition.
Yes.
We want the instant results, and
Mm-hmm.
therefore I think that the whole issue of teaching, educating from the home to the church to the community to help Barbados to know, something. We are unique as a people. We don't have to, to um, copy any other country or any other society, but be proud of who we are
Yes.
and work towards making Barbados the best that it can be for
Right.
Barbadians. You want to say,
Yes.
and not depend on another person to lift this up.
Wow.
As I said, I really thank God for this young lady, and I know that there are a lot of other young ladies like her, young people like herself in our country. Let us get them either on this show on or other places where they can help to bring back to young people a sense of hope and so forth. And
Yes.
God bless you, and God continue to bless your show.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Oh man, isn't that awesome, Gaynelder?
Yes, please.
Very well said. And we're getting to see your lovely face again. And we just have another couple minutes, and I'm not seeing any missed calls here. Let me make sure because I told them to call in, and I want to honor them calling in because Barbadians are speaking up, Genelda, and I want to honor that. Okay, there's a Marcia Broom calling. Just hang on, let me take this call. I got to do it for my Bajan people. Um, Marcia, make sure your device is off. Okay, Marcia, go right ahead. Great to have you tonight. What is the Bajan dream? Okay, she's waiting. It's delayed.
Yes, good night.
Good night. Good night. What is the
Yes,
Bajan dream?
this is your 86-year-old friend, your namesake.
86. Yes,
But
Woo!
I'm not 86 anymore, I'm 87 now.
Aye.
Right. And my dream is for us to go back to the old landmarks, for us to put prayer back in school, and for us to put the Lord's Prayer back in school. Stop selling out all our silvers and stop bringing in all these foreign people. One time we had our Annie Wilson. You can hear me?
yes, we're hearing you loud and clear. And
Right.
we're
One
enjoying
time
you.
we had our Annie Wilson, we had our Brankers, and we had our number company. Now we have all of these foreign conglomerates taking all the silvers of Barbados and taking it back to their country. And we Barbadians have to get like the Indians join together and do things and don't pull down each other. If Bajans see one getting through, they pull you down like crabs. The Indians join together and bind up all of Barbados. We must do that as well and leave it for our children and our children's children. That's what I have to say. And this young lady that is on tonight, I hope she has politics in mind because she's ripe and ready, and I will vote for her tomorrow.
Oh my Lord. You heard
Thank
that?
you.
She's 87. Marcia, thank you so much. I have to say, Mama Marcia, I can't call you just Marcia. Miss Marcia,
Right.
thank you so much. 87 years old. And I
Thank
just,
you,
I got
Marcia.
teary eyed. Thank you so much for calling. I got teary eyed listening to her, oh gosh, I tell you, this is so beautiful. So beautiful, Gaynelda. Just before you go, a caller, one of because they helped me to produce the show. Viha here, she's in the diaspora. She said that to close off the show, she would like Viha. Can you write it again? I can't find it. Oh shit. She said, can we use the next few minutes to just discuss the vision of this young woman and what she would want to happen for the youth? So I wanted to think about that, Gaynelda, and we're going to watch this race tonight, okay? And the reason I want us to watch the race, let me remove the number because we're not taking any more calls tonight. We will do that on Friday night. The reason that I want us to watch this race, Ganelda, and a thousand, we're moving between 1,000 and a little over 1,000 watching. The reason we want to do that is I want us to realize something. Look, and you see the people in the race, right? You see these countries in the race. Barbados is only 280,000 people.
Right.
And we have a finalist in this race here at the World Championship. We have a finalist there, a young lady, Miss Niles. Think about it again, Nelda. And because sometimes we watch these places, you see Jamaica say, oh, they're just fast. No, it's nothing. It's not to do with they're just fast. You know what it is? They had the opportunity, Ganelda. That's all it is. That's all that separates us from Jamaica and from
Yeah,
America
man.
winning these medals. It's just opportunity.
Right.
Just opportunity
And the support.
and support.
The support. Yep.
And support. And so she's gone to Jamaica to get that kind of support and opportunity. And look how she is beaming and growing.
Right.
But she's the same Bajan, with the same Bajan DNA.
Mm-hmm.
She was just given opportunity and support. And look at her. And
Right.
so the moral of this whole thing is that we are enough. We are
Yes.
enough, Ganelda. We don't need to be Jamaicans. We don't need to be Americans. We don't need to be looking, overseas and looking to people, in other countries. Barbadians, we are enough.
We
Play the
are.
race, Dave. Play the race, and then over to Gaynelda.
Focus, final rehearsals. Down the track. Fast cycling up, settling into the blocks. The final of the women's 100 meters here in Lima at the World Junior Athletics Championships. Good start from Alana Reid, who seems to hold the lead slightly at the moment. Can she maintain that? Hodge battling to get back on turns, but have been good as trying to get up there. Hodge could not get back to Alana Reid, who took it on the line. Niles, it was.
Wow, wow, wow. That's our girl. That is our girl, and we going to celebrate it like it was a gold because we know her
Amen.
circumstances. And right, Gaynelda? We going to
Right.
celebrate it like it's a gold. This is world stage, folks. We are enough. Go ahead, Gaynelda.
Right. For me, I want to say if we support the youth, we will see so much things happen, even myself included. Um, Support is so important. Support is so important. Just like one of the callers were speaking about targeting the east and stuff like that. But unless we push our people first, the people outside can't see us. And that is what we don't understand. So the same way how we put energy behind the negative stuff, I just want to tell us to put, if we could flip it and put a lot of the same energy behind the positive stuff. And there's something I live by, which is in our national anthem. Strict guardians of our heritage, firm craftsmen of our faith. If we do not guard our things, we don't know what our fate will be. We cannot guide our path if we don't guard our stuff. So as I say, once you find out the Bajan dream and you understand what that is to be Bajan, which goes back to being patriotic and knowing who you are, then you could only want to invest in that, support that, you know. And I think putting all of the support behind the youth is where we need to be at. Also, the youth need to be able to listen to the older heads, and we have a big gap in between where is it, as I say, we are not very invested in passing down culture, so they see themselves very different than us. But having conversations like this is important because really actually a lot of us are going to the same thing and feel the same way, get back to speaking to each other, get back to communication, get back to investing in ourselves. And as long as we do that, we will see so much progress as a country. And that's what I want as a Bajan dream, for us to love who we are and show it. Me and a lady had a conversation a day inside a fabric store. She was speaking on Bajan, saying, God is a Bajan, and she saw it as disrespectful. But I always say you can only have a negative perspective from a negative person. So she turned and said it does seem like it's not humble and stuff like that. I told her that's not true, because if you say God is a Bajan, maybe it's telling you to look at the positive side, that God always does things for us. Things like the hurricanes always pass at us. We are. If you look and see you are a blessed island, then you could only want to invest in yourself. So I told her at the end, I said nothing ain't wrong with looking in the mirror and telling yourself you're beautiful. And she turned and said, "You are so right. You left me with something to think about." Because when I say God is a Bajan, I don't look at it as that I shutting out the other countries, but I gotta look at my country first. And if just like how you love South, if you love country, I don't have a problem saying that God is a Bajan. I don't look at it as something negative at all. So yeah, that's all I want to say. I
Yes.
just want us to love who we are, and love the country, and as long as we can find out who we are fundamentally, everything else will spring from there.
Lord, I feel so fussy tonight. Gaynelda, this is so good. Coming out of such a tough weekend that we had. when we look and we saw what was happening. We don't need to mention all of that, but right now, but
Right.
this is so beautiful, and I feel fussy, and I feel like I want to cry. I don't know about anybody else. I feel like I want to cry. I feel very special. I mean, the whole show just came together. I prayed before I came on. Dave and I, we prayed, and we said we just wanted
God
something
in
to lift
front.
up the people. Yes,
Yes.
we wanted
Mhm.
something to lift up the people, and thank God he came through. And I bless you, my sister. And the next time we come
Thank you.
together, I want it to be face to face, so that we can
Yes.
do this properly and more professionally. This is wonderful. Dave has the national anthem, and we're going to put it on the screen. But Gaynelda, I want you to recite it. We're going to put up the lyrics, and I want you to recite it. And that's the last thing we're going to hear before we go. So let me give some announcements. My wonderful Barbadian people, we're going to be back again on Friday night. And on Friday night, we're going to have with us the general himself, Caswell Franklin, is going to be our key panelist. And we're also going to have Nigel Newton, where we're going to do some discussions with him around looking at ways to reduce the crime in the country. And we're going to open the lines again. So it's going to be another powerful show where we're just speaking blessings into Barbados. So it's over to Miss Gaynelda Grazette. Kudos. And she's going to give us. Right then we lost her. What this? The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Gaynelda, oh Lord, please wait for her. Please wait for her. Ah, ah. Oh no, all of a sudden it starts spinning. I wanted her to read this for us. Can we just wait for her? Let me try and put her in again. Come on, man. Come on. Okay. Ganelda, why don't you? Oh, she's here. I'll tell you, the devil trying to think. Girl, talk to us.
I know.
Yeah. Go right ahead.
In plenty and in time of In plenty and in time of need, when this fair land was young, our brave forefathers sowed the seed from which our pride is sprung. A pride that makes no wanton boast of what it has withstood, that binds our hearts from coast to coast, the pride of nationhood. We loyal sons and daughters all do hereby make it known. These fields and hills beyond recall are now our very own. We write our names on history's page with expectations great, strict guardians of our heritage, firm craftsmen of our faith. The Lord has been the people's guide for past 300 years. With him still on our people's side, we have no doubts or fears. Upward and onward we shall go, inspired, exulting, free, and greater will our nation grow in strength and unity.
Oh, yes, madam. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Gaynell. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much for blessing our lives tonight. We love and
You-
appreciate you. God bless you,
And
Marshall
thank
Week
you for
Show
having me.
family. Yes, you're most welcome. And we had a lovely night tonight. Sleep well, folks. God bless. Bye bye.
Bye bye.